All right, let's just jump right in. For the last couple of years, we've all gotten pretty good at talking to an AI, right? But we are on the edge of this massive, massive shift. We're moving beyond just having a conversation and into managing entire organizations of AI agents. We're literally going from AI chat to the AI company. So check out this line from the repository for an open source project called Paperclip. It kind of sets the perfect tone for this. Yeah, it's a little provocative, but it perfectly captures this new world where autonomous agents aren't just tools you command, they're persistent entities you actually employ. And this is the big question we're tackling today, isn't it? We've all figured out the art of the prompt, that whole back and forth chat. But are we actually ready for what's coming next? Are we prepared to be managers of a workforce that never sleeps, never takes a lunch break, and exists entirely as lines of code? To even begin to understand how to build an AI company, we first have to understand the individual AI employee. And this is where we get this incredible concept of a single persistent AI agent, one with its own unique identity, its own, you could say, digital soul. So what even is an autonomous agent? Well, think of something like OpenClaw. This isn't your average cloud chatbot that completely forgets who you are the second you close the tab. No, this runs on your local machine. It has a persistent identity, a memory. It's not just a generic tool. It's a specific assistant that learns and remembers you, all through a few simple text files. And what's so cool is how that identity is actually built. It's literally a set of markdown files that act like its DNA. You've got a soul.md file that defines its core personality and values. That's its mission statement. Agents.md is basically its resume and job description. Memory.md is where it stores everything it learns. And then there's heartbeat.md. That's its autonomous pulse, the scheduler that lets it act on its own. See? This isn't just some generic bot. It's a real asset with a defined, editable soul. So having one super competent agent is a total game changer. But a company isn't just one genius employee, right? It's about teamwork. And this is exactly where the model starts to fall apart when you try to scale it. What happens when you hire 10 of these agents? Well, you run headfirst into a massive coordination problem. The first thing you get is just chaos. Imagine having 20 brilliant employees who are all locked in separate rooms and never speak to each other. That's what this is like. They have no shared context. The marketing agent has no clue what the engineering agent is up to. Nobody's learning from anyone else's work. It's just total, complete silos. And then there's the money. This is the scary part. Without a central system, every agent is running on its own little budget. You could easily have a whole fleet of these things burning through hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars in API credits overnight, and you wouldn't know a thing about it until that massive bill lands in your inbox. And finally, there's just no governance. Individual agents might be doing their little tasks perfectly, but are those tasks aligned with the bigger business goal? Probably not. It's just a bunch of individuals doing their own thing, not a cohesive company working toward a common goal. So here's the big takeaway. The solution isn't to build a smarter agent. It's to build a better manager. This is where we really make that leap from just prompting an AI to orchestrating an entire AI workforce. The system itself becomes the manager. And this is exactly what a system like Paperclip AI is designed for. It is not another agent. You got to think of it as an organizational layer that sits on top of all your other agents. It provides the structure, the company mission, the org chart, and really clear lines of who does what. This diagram shows you exactly how that works in practice. A request comes in to a supervisor agent. Now, that supervisor doesn't do the work itself. It acts like a real manager. It breaks the big task down and delegates the smaller pieces to its team of specialized agents. One might process data, another one handles communication. They all have their own specific tools, but they work together. It's a structured, top-down system. And you can build this out into a full company workflow. A mission goes to the CEO agent, who then creates the high-level goals. The CTO agent takes those goals and breaks them down into technical tasks. An engineer agent writes the code, and then a dedicated QA agent checks the work. It all just flows down the org chart, just like a human company, except it's happening autonomously 24/7. Now, obviously, letting a team of AIs run wild requires a huge amount of trust. So how do you build that? Well, you need a new set of rules, right? A new kind of HR and accounting department built specifically for a workforce with 0 humans. It's all about governance and safety. So how do you enforce accountability? You do it with an absolutely ironclad audit trail. In a system like Paperclip, everything, every single instruction, every decision, every API call is logged as a structured ticket. And it's an append-only log, which means you can add to it, but you can never edit or delete what's already there. So when something goes wrong, you don't have to guess. You have a perfect, unchangeable record of what happened and why. Next, you need serious budget controls because these agents can get expensive. The system gives you a first line of defense, an automatic warning when any agent uses up 80% of its monthly token budget. It's like a proactive little tap on the shoulder from the system just to prevent any nasty surprises. But what if that warning gets ignored? Well, the system enforces a hard cap. At 100% of its budget, the agent is automatically paused. New tasks are just blocked. This simple safety feature is what makes it actually possible to run a whole fleet of autonomous agents without being terrified of some catastrophic bill. So with these foundations, identity, orchestration, and governance firmly in place, we can start to look at the future. I mean, what does the world look like when you can spin up not just an AI agent, but an entire AI company? Okay, first, let's be practical. Is this for everyone? Not right now. As you can see here, if you're just managing one agent, this is complete overkill. But if you're trying to manage 5 or more agents, you need them to run autonomously around the clock, and you absolutely require that full audit trail and those strict budget controls, then yeah, a system like this becomes pretty much essential. And this is where things start to sound like science fiction. The roadmap for Paperclip includes this idea called Clipmart. Imagine an app store, but instead of downloading an app, you download an entire pre-built, battle-tested AI company. A whole content marketing agency, a software development shop, all with the org chart, the agents, and the skills ready to go on day one. It's wild. Which leaves us with this final thought. We started out asking if we were ready to manage an AI workforce, but maybe the real question is so much bigger. Is your next hire going to be a single specialized AI agent? Or is your next big strategic move going to be acquiring, or maybe just downloading, an entire fully formed AI company?